set a timer for 20 minutes. What's good, UB2Bs? Back at it again with another video. I hope you all are having an amazing Monday, start of the week thus far. I had another late night, so I was actually supposed to get my video done and uploaded around 2:30, 3 o'clock, but ended up having to re-upload it and everything and just dealing with those kind of technical issues and stuff. And didn't end up falling asleep until about 4. So I did still get up around 10:30 or so and had that pan au chocolat, and it was outstanding. I actually am going to start going back to those. My favorite is always going to be the almond croissant, but those I'm just going to go back and forth between the two just to give a different variation and just a good way to just start off my my week. So good vibes are in the air. I do feel a little bit cloudy since it is kind of just cloudy and gray outside again, so just kind of, you know, chilling in the apartment today. I'm not going to work out. I am actually excited because I'm going to be building my new bike that has been sitting in my bedroom now for like 3 weeks or so, or maybe even longer than that, since I got back from the cruise. And I just am ready to finally get it out of the box and get it set up and out of the way. So that's super exciting. I actually might hop on it and do a little bit of cardio. I guess we'll see after it's all set up and whatnot, but you know, exciting to just have that. And I also, huge shout out to Yesoul for sending over the bike to begin with. I couldn't be any more thankful because, you know, exercise bikes can be expensive, and this is like Peloton's competitor, so it's like a fraction of the price of Peloton. So generally speaking, I would not call myself a cyclist or somebody who takes those like classes and stuff. I used to do a few back when I lived in Los Angeles. I would go around visiting gyms, working for a few companies, and would just kind of go around, and sometimes I would get like free class passes, and I would do Soul Cycle and stuff like that. So, and actually my cousins actually both work at Harlem Cycle. I have yet to go and check out one of their classes as well, but Yesoul gave me the option to choose between the incumbent bike, which is the seated bike where you're like sitting down and like you're sitting down more like this, versus the cycling bike, which is more like you're up and it's like the kind of Soul Cycle kind of classes and Peloton style, the rower and the treadmill. And my first choice would have been the treadmill, and it was actually cool because it folded up and kind of got out of the way. Same with the rower, that also kind of folds into a compact space, perfect for an apartment. But first of all, my first choice being the treadmill, it just didn't seem right having a treadmill in an apartment like this. It kind of seems like I would just my neighbors would hate me for running on the bike all the time and just making all that compact on the ground, because it's the most like, you know, you're actually running and makes a whole bunch of noise. And rowing, I've done it a few times. I just am not a rower myself. I don't really see myself doing rowing that much. And I also, like I said, I'm not really a cyclist as far as like a stationary bike, but out of the choices, that one made the most sense. It's not going to be annoying to my neighbors, and I can kind of just, you know, get on the bike and stuff, like, especially in the wintertime when I can't ride the city bikes around the city as much as I would like to and whatnot. So I did end up going with the stationary bike. So super excited, like I said, to finally get that up and running. And this morning I have only had just my protein shake and the pan au chocolat. So, and I did have a couple chips and guac. So just some snacks, kind of just to get my day started, and then get that 50 grams of protein to jumpstart my protein for the day. But as far as food, I'm gonna have to figure out lunch sometime soon because it is already 3:30. Like I said, guys, I did wake up a bit late today, but I'm gonna figure it all out. I did take my laundry downstairs, so it was actually short. The minimum for the laundry requirement is like actually 13 pounds, and that's like $15. I only had like 9.5 pounds, and I kind of forgot my towels and stuff, so I had to come back upstairs and throw my towels and stuff, and it made the pounds went up to about 11.5 pounds out of the 13. And I already had like stripped down my bed and everything to wash my sheets and stuff, so I was like, you know, even though I'm 1.5 pounds short, I just figured, you know, I'm just gonna get it over with and just wash my stuff because I want fresh sheets and whatever. So I didn't really care. I took the L right there. But yeah, it's just one of those days where I'm just kind of like lounging, and I've been looking at YouTube videos trying to decide on a business credit card to get probably in the next week or so, just because I want to start separating or organizing my expenses when it comes to business expenses and personal expenses. So just trying to get on track with those things. So I'm doing a bunch of research and trying to get the best option for me personally and my brand. So, and still looking at prints as far as photography prints for you guys to be able to purchase. I will be having a website, or figuring out the best website. I'm still doing a ton of research trying to figure out what is the best option for not only you guys, but for myself as well, to get this apartment up and decorated with some of my photographs from across the world. So thank you guys for supporting as always, and just even giving me advice, like, you know, Miss Kim, Steven, and Monique, everybody who's like reached out via Instagram and just being a helping hand, just trying to like, you know, give me as much insight as possible as far as like whether it's decorating my apartment or just business ideas and all that stuff. Like, I appreciate every single one of you guys like reaching out and just, you know, helping out when you can. It's just it goes a long way, and I very, very much do appreciate it. But yeah, guys, like today, like I said, today's just one of them chill days where it's just, I really don't feel like, you know, leaving my apartment too much. Just kind of take it easy, and gonna start getting this bike out of the way. It's just I've been putting it off, and it's finally the time to get it up and running. So with that said, guys, I think I'm just gonna go grab the box and start putting it together. So if you guys want to tune in for that, let's go ahead and get to it.
hacer y volver a tocarnos en el sitio donde te encontré. No pudimos controlarlo, envuelto en sentimientos, son puros sentimientos. Bebé, como tú no hay otra. Vente, vamos de viaje, ya no estás sola. Pate masaje, yo amo tu popola. Mi cholo en el traje, pa' que no te fajes. No es aguaje, yo sigo sonriendo como Colgate. De una me rescataste, de lo malo me separaste. Yo en la calle hacía disparate. Tú eres mi bebé sota, tu gato con botas. De tanto tener sexo terminó la cama rota. Devorando la toa, no sé si va a haber boda. Pero yo soy su lobo y sabe que es mi loba. Yo sé que te sientes igual, así también. Envuelto en sentimientos, son puros sentimientos. Bebé, no pudimos controlarlo. Envuelto en sentimientos.
Alright, you guys, now that it is all set up and I've kind of showered and got some food in my tummy, this is a pretty nice looking bike, I must say. And it actually does take up a lot more space than I thought it was going to take up, just because of the TV and just the way that it kind of protrudes out like this. So it is going to take some adjusting and moving around a few things in my room to kind of like figure out the best location for it to go. But I am so thankful for Yesoul for sending this over. I haven't had a chance to actually hop on and start sweating and all that stuff and get an actual cycle in, but I did hook it up and got it all powered up and everything, and it's looking like it is promising. So I will be testing this thing out and giving it a spin just in the next few days or so, just to catch a vibe and just see how it all goes. But like I said, you guys, like I'm not really much of a like cycler, but like this is going to kind of make me do a little bit more cardio than I normally do, because like just living in New York lately, I've just been kind of like walking around, and my cardio is just kind of walking around the city. But this is like dedicated sweat time, and I will leave the link in the description below for $100 off. So the code is going to be Teddy100, and you guys will have all the information and links and all that good stuff in the description box below. And if you guys do, this is like, I don't know how much, Pelotons are like $2,000 or whatever, and this is like $599 I believe for the Max. But yeah, you will get $100 off using the code Teddy100. So stay healthy out there, you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed that carbonara that I just finished wrapping up. That was just some quick Trader Joe's. I did add some cheese and some salt to it just to give it a little bit more flavor, and that's pretty much gonna do it for the day. And tomorrow we're gonna get right back to it. Today was kind of a chill day where I didn't even leave the apartment besides to take the boxes downstairs and take the trash out and whatnot. But stay blessed, you all, and if you made it this far, please like the video if you like the content, subscribe if you have not already, and of course I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.